Oh, see, this is what happens when you don't try to pay somebody. You leave their truck in the no parking zone, and you pack your motherfucking bag, and you hit the motherfucking Amtrak. You understand me? You get the on. You know what I'm saying? You don't wait around. You want to not pay money? Then guess what? I got something for you. You'll be paying way more than what you were supposed to pay me. So congratulations. Find your truck, and I'm gone.
I am officially leaving the trucking industry, and I want to share with you why. A lot of people think it's because of a particular issue in the industry, and the trucking industry comes with no shortage of problems. And maybe that's a factor, but for me personally, what it comes down to is work-life balance and family. I have 4 kids at home. I don't share them on here. I never will. I don't put my kids on this page. But I have 4 young kids, and my oldest is about to turn 9, and I don't remember much of any of their childhoods. I mean, I started driving a truck 6 years ago, and I've been on the road for pretty much all of it, right? And I don't want to be circling the drain when I'm, hopefully 80, 85 years old, God willing, about to call it quits, about to clock out, and just be regretting the entire time. And when I'm right now, this is my prime, and just be regretting this period of my life, thinking, man, if I could just have one more day with my kids, just one more memory. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that when I am circling the drain and my time's coming near, I want to be left with no regrets. And unfortunately, even when I reached what I thought would be the pinnacle of success in my career, becoming an owner operator, having a nice truck, all the things, I was the most miserable I've ever been, because in the back of my head I knew time is running out with my kids. Right, when you have kids, the hourglass starts, and there's nothing you can do to reverse that. We all have to take time away from our kids. We have to work. We have to provide. But there is just a level of regret that I'm not willing to have, if I don't do something, if I didn't do something. And so about a year and a half ago, I started trying to ponder up ways where I could start a side hustle, where I could make some money. My wife's a stay-at-home wife. When you got 4 kids, daycare is not really an option, right? It's too expensive. And I want her to be able to be a stay-at-home mom, and that's very important to us in our household. So I started pondering ways where I could make an additional form of income. And it's hard to think of side hustles you can do when you're in a truck, right? You have zero time to invest in anything. You can't even be physically present. You can't even do DoorDash or Uber or something because you're not home, right? It's not easy when you're a full-time truck driver, doing regional work, running 650 miles a day just to try to get home every other night, working 14, 16 hours a day, hand unloading freight. I run to New York City twice a week. It's not, it's something that takes a lot of time and effort to do. But I've done it, getting loaded, getting unloaded. When I'm home on my home time, I'm back at the truck doing it, pouring myself into this. And finally, I got to the point where I said, okay, I don't have to be in the truck anymore. I can take a deep breath. What am I going to do? I didn't want to leave the trucking industry in its entirety. I wanted to remain in the industry and have a meaningful impact on the industry and keep helping and pouring into the industry, and a much better work-life balance. Like, I'm about to go for a run right now. Like, that's another thing. I just want to be the guy who can, like, have some semblance of normality, right? I want to get up in the morning, send the kids off to school, make a cup of coffee, go for a run, get a lift in, go home, grab a shower, like, go conquer the day. Like, for me personally, those things are very, very important. And so it's almost still like a moment of shock for me to think that, like, I've finally reached that point. And I don't make this video to try to persuade anybody out of the industry. We need good drivers in the industry more than ever. We need good drivers in the industry, in seats of trucks. But if you are somebody who wants to be at home more, you have a wife or a husband and kids at home, whatever it is, I just want you to know you can do this too. Just a year ago, I was probably the most depressed I've ever been, because I thought, this is just going to be my life. I have no other option. I have to do this. And I'm just going to miss everything with my kids, and I'm never going to be able to have that semblance of a normal life like a lot of other people seem to be able to have. I was so envious, which is not good, but I was. And in less than a year, I've been blessed beyond belief. God has blessed my life. I can't go without mentioning God. I mean, this is all glory be to God for this. I had people praying for me. I had, some of my best friends praying for me, their churches praying for me, and I was praying, and I mean, the way that God has changed my life and flipped it on its head in the best way possible within the last year is unbelievable. I'm going to keep expanding and keep pouring into the trucking industry, just not as a driver, right? So I'm not leaving you guys hanging. And for every single man and woman out there driving a truck, I respect you guys beyond belief. You guys have no idea the amount of respect I have for you and what you do to keep this country moving. And like I said, I'm going to do my part, though I'm out of the truck, to keep pouring in to you guys as well. So it has officially been almost 2 weeks since I've quit truck driving. And a lot of people have reached out in my DMs and kind of asked, how's it going, right? And so I thought I would share just a 2-week recap. I'll be honest, I have not missed the truck one single time. I know that time will come. Like, I'll start looking at old photographs and videos and stuff, and I definitely will miss it because I genuinely loved what I did. I did. Like, it was a passion for me. I saw a video from Chris at Blue Ribbon Logistics, and he was talking about his takeaway from Matt's, which was, you're not going to succeed if you don't love what you do. And I really did love what I did. And as I said in previous videos, it was more of a personal decision, having 4 kids at home, wanting to be home with the family more. That allowed me to be able to do that. But I didn't abandon the trucking industry, right? I'm still involved in the industry. I still get to deal with drivers often, and be a part of something much bigger than myself that's going to leave a long-lasting impact on the industry for decades to come, which is super cool. But yeah, I mean, for the last 2 weeks, I've just been thoroughly enjoying soaking up time with my family, trying to make up for lost time, and just doing all of the normal things that I think people who don't travel for a living like truck drivers take for granted. I enjoy getting up in the morning, reading the newspaper, having a cup of coffee, going to run some errands, clocking into work, clocking out of work. Like, I really enjoy that. All of the mundane things that so many people take for granted are what I've been really wanting for years now. Like, I wanted some semblance of normality again. Like, I wanted to just run to the store, grab some things, come home, cook myself a meal, kick back on the couch, watch some TV, like all the things that you can't do in the truck, and spending time with the family and going swimming and, going to work out and going for runs, like just all of those things. I've been really enjoying it. And, if you're somebody who feels stuck in the truck, that doesn't mean you don't love what you do. You can love what you do, but if you have a family at home, there's a really good chance you want to be with them. It's so important, especially as men, to be home and to be the leaders of the household and be present. And, I understand we justify not being there because we have to make money, but at some point, all of the time spent just to make money, the money's going to go away. The things you buy with the money are going to go away. The only thing that's not going to go away is the regret for not being there more. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, 2 weeks in, haven't touched a truck, haven't driven a truck in 2 weeks, and I couldn't be more happy.
Guess what, y'all? I finally quit. I just cleaned out the truck. All of my stuff is gone. No, I did not give a 2 weeks notice. They would never gave me one if I was getting fired. I got orientation next week with Martin Transport. So yeah, I'm about to do a walk around the truck, take pictures of the truck. I'm leaving the truck at a drop yard. Hopefully they don't try to say, oh, you gotta leave it at a terminal, because I really ain't got time for all that. But I am gonna do my due diligence, ask them, where y'all want me to leave the tablet, where y'all want me to leave the keys. Is this all right with y'all if I leave it at the drop yard? Yeah, that's it. I worked with Snyder for 7 months. It was my first truck driver job out of CDL school. They started me off at 39 cents a mile, y'all. I got 2 raises since then. I got my 6 months raise, and I got for hitting mileage goals and stuff like that, every raise was only 2 cents. So really, you ain't getting no raise. The pay is absolutely trash. I will say that it's not a bad company, it just wasn't for me. Now I'll be going to orientation for Martin next week. Hopefully I get the job. If not, I really don't care. I'm still quitting this job. OTR is just not for me. This new account I'm going to be on is dedicated. It's out bi-weekly. It's reefers, mostly drop and hook. They paying 60 cents a mile, and they also have a I guess buffer, you could say, or a minimum pay for this job. The minimum pay is $1,200 a week. So regardless of what kind of miles you get or what happened the week before, or you always gonna get $1,200. They got a minimum pay. Their hiring bonus is $400, but you would have to, after orientation, how they do it is orientation is like 2.5 to 3 days. You get your truck on the third day, you gotta immediately go out on the road. If you don't go out on the road on your third day, you don't get the hiring bonus. So yeah, today is Friday. I'm quitting today for Snyder. I just got off the road, parked my truck yesterday, came and cleaned it out this morning. I'm quitting today, and hopefully I have a job by next Wednesday. All right, y'all.
All right, so what's been going on since I quit trucking a month and a half ago? Let me tell you. I honestly didn't know what I was gonna do. Zero clue. I don't know. I'm giving it to you, God. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but here you go. The whole reason I quit trucking, first off, you guys should know I love to truck. I love being on the road. I love driving. The reason I quit is the industry is just going down the hill. I mean, everybody knows that. It's just not what it used to be. I'm tired of fighting just to make money and pay the bills while being away from my family. So that's the main reason is, one, the industry is just not what it used to be. And two, I want to be home every night with my family. And so that's what made me finally decide, like, it's time. If I don't quit now, I'm going to be in it for the rest of my life, and I don't want to be that. I want to find something new right here, right now, and make a career out of it and be able to retire in 20, 25 years and be like in my 50s, high 50s, and be able to retire and still enjoy life. So here we are in August. I parked the truck at the beginning of July, and so we've been here for the past 42 days trying to figure things out, doing a lot of praying, all that good stuff. And something that's always been in the back of my mind is law enforcement. I have no idea why. So there's been a few times throughout the years where I've applied and it just never worked out. So I never kept pursuing it. And I was like, well, I always wanted to be an owner-operator truck driver. I always wanted to be in trucking. That's what I wanted to do. And I'm just done. I'm done trying to do what I want to do. So for the past month, at least the past 30 days, I've been applying for a lot of agencies with law enforcement, sheriff's department, finally a police position, with the police department patrol opened up just like last week, so I'm gonna apply for that. I have been for the past few weeks doing all the processing, testing, everything for the state of Wyoming's highway patrol, so trooper. And that's why I'm in a hotel right now. Tonight we'll basically start the last leg of the process with the state troopers here in Wyoming. I will go here in the next half hour to go do my PT test. And then tomorrow is the oral interview. Got the eye exam, the whole psych test, and then that's it. All that starting tonight to Wednesday morning. So I'll be in Cheyenne for the next 3 days or whatever it is, finishing out this process. And if I pass all those, so I pass the PT test tonight, I move on to the oral. If they approve me with the oral and they like me and push me on to the next one, I have to pass each step to finish the process. If I don't, then I'm done. But if I do pass all the steps, basically it's up to background, all the whole background checks and all that good stuff. And as long as I pass the background check, guys, they're gonna offer me a job. So praying and hoping that it all works out. I pass everything, the background check passes, and I can get this, because this is what I want to do. I feel like this is what God wants me to do, so that's why I'm pushing for it as hard as I can. And even if I don't get this job, I'm still going to keep pushing for it, because I just feel like for some reason God wants me to be in